YERFORGROUND.com/radio before September 30th to talk to a local rep about these limited time opportunities for your operation.
If you're looking for a local, full or part-time job in Central Illinois, there's an easy place to go to find current job openings. It's IllinoisJobPost.com. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. You'll find jobs available near you. And the best part is that it's free for candidates to access 24/7. If you want a local job, when you don't have to spend a lot of money on gas to get to, then you want access to IllinoisJobPost.com to check out current local job openings. That web address again is IllinoisJobPost.com. Another service from your friends at the Miller Media Group.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the phone today, Caitlin Mellendorf, nutrition educator, University of Illinois Extension. Caitlin, how are you?
Good morning. I'm doing good. It's nice. It's cold. It feels like fall. We're getting there finally.
Yeah, it's I was talking to one of my guests yesterday, and then I had the weather service on after that, and I said, made the observation, we typically get into September and we see those, we still see a lingering 90-degree day, maybe a week or so of upper 80s. I can remember we've had the Apple and Pork Festival at the end of September, with 90-degree temperatures and all those things. But yeah, the start of September, it really does feel like fall. Like there's that crisp in the air, and just kind of that chilly edge, if you will, in the mornings. It's kind of interesting how we've started things out this month.
It's nice, I think. We're so used to summer lingering, like even into late September or early October sometimes. So I think this year is kind of a nice little switch up.
Indeed it is. And we get into some September topics here today, Caitlin. To start us off, September is Hunger Action Month. Let's talk about Hunger Action Month and some food insecurity things. What do we know? What do you have for us today, Caitlin?
Yeah, so September, as you mentioned, is Hunger Action Month, and it's a great time to highlight that roughly 1 in 10 Illinoisans don't have consistent access to food. So they maybe need to utilize food pantries or food banks. They need to utilize school backpack programs. They use additional services like SNAP benefits or WIC or senior programs. And this is a good time just to reflect on how can we support those folks. So if we are individuals listening that are pretty financially stable and we have consistent access to food, how do we support those folks that are struggling a little bit more? So one, of course, would be donating food. So whether that is the drives that tend to happen, I'm pretty sure that we're probably coming into when the post office will do their drive of coming around and collecting non-perishable food items during September, dropped off on your doorstep as they grab your mail. You can also donate money. So whether that is directly to food pantries in your area, maybe through a church or through another foundation, or donating money directly to like a larger food bank. And then, of course, volunteering. I know that we just came off of a summit yesterday in Mattoon for food pantries, and that is one thing that those pantry managers shared with us, is that they, of course, always need volunteers to help pass out food, make their guests feel welcome, and kind of push off some of the stigma that is surrounding, needing additional food assistance. And I like to just expand on all those services. So, of course, there's food pantries maybe we're familiar with. If your school has a backpack program, that's a great one. For seniors, there's several different congregate meal sites that offer meals free or at a discounted price that our older adults can access. SNAP has monetary benefits to help purchase food for those that meet a certain income bracket. just a variety of ways that folks can access. I know here in some of our counties with extension, we are working with there are different things that have names to them. So blessing boxes or the kind of oh gosh, of course I'm going to forget that name. The concept with same thing as the library books that are available kind of as a little roadside almost stand. So we have different people that do food offerings in those kind of outdoor settings, so you don't have to access food within a particular time frame.
Like
You
a
can
food
actually just
library
stop by
almost?
some of these. Yeah, like a food library. Thank you. I was trying to think of what to call that. And so you don't have to access food at a certain time. So if your local food pantry is maybe open at a time when you're working and you can't send a family member or friend to get food for you, some of these kind of all access 24/7 options are really useful. So it's a great opportunity to have that volunteer mindset of like, how can I support my community and support folks getting enough food this summer or this fall.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Now, Caitlin, as we think about helping out with the food security issue, I know that Extension has in the past, as folks will start to think about the hunting season, which will kick off here in October-ish. Obviously, the food banks have been relying recently on donations from meat lockers as individuals take their I don't even know what hunters call them, but deer that they catch or whatever on those hunts, they can donate portions of that to food banks. How about that program?
Yeah, so we're super excited. We are in our second donation cycle. So in Illinois, deer hunting season will start October 1st, so just in a couple of weeks. And Illinois Deer Donation Program started several years ago. It's been several years in the making, but last season was our first donation cycle. So we had more than 200 hunters donate their deer, and we had partnering meat processors in a 12-county East Central Illinois area process that meat and grind it up. So we had burger to freeze, and then that burger got distributed to food pantries across that 12-county area. And this year, we have expanded our territory. We are up to 16 counties. We're adding a few additional meat processors. And so, yeah, we want to get the word out to hunters that this is another way that they can support food security in their community. So if they have an extra hunting tag or they're a landowner and they want to do additional hunting, all of that meat can get donated to your local locker, or excuse me, I shouldn't say your local locker, a partnering one with us, to be ground up, and then that will go to feed our local food pantry guests and those that are struggling with food security. And that's been super exciting for us to see, because we get a lot of feedback from our food pantries, and they know that this is a needed product. Protein is not a common food pantry item, especially something as high quality as what we get with, essentially locally sourced meat. So for hunters that are out there wanting to hunt and maybe do a little bit of extra hunting this year, definitely check us out with the Illinois Deer Donation Program. And you can find all of that online and on social media, just doing a quick search. But yeah, we're super excited. We're kicking this off just in a couple more weeks. So we're both excited and nervous because, it's always that excitement of, okay, let's hope we can make this happen.
Yeah. When hunters make that donation or they make it known at that meat locker, is there paperwork they have to fill out, anything of that nature? I mean, is it just as simple as letting, that locker know, hey, I want to donate, X part of this or this much meat to the food pantry as a part of that program? What's that process like for that individual making the donation?
So all of all the costs are free. So for the hunter, it's free to donate their deer. They do need to donate a whole deer, just for food safety reasons. We're not doing portions of
Gotcha.
deer,
Sorry about
so
that.
you can't keep part of the animal and donate the other half. That's not going to work for our program, but it's free to the hunter. So when they go to that partnering locker, they will fill out just some basic, name, address, phone number, email, so that we can send you a thank you when hunting season's over. And then the processor will take it from there And so you have done an awesome good deed by bringing in that deer, and the processor will move it on to next steps of processing it. And then it's also something where we'll reimburse our processors, because we know that it is expensive to process a deer. It's a trade that takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. So part of our efforts are to make this as free as possible, including reimbursing our processors so that they can make some money off of this process, keep themselves in business, keep that partnership alive. And so it's from the hunters that we talked to from our last season, said it was very easy just to be able to drop off their deer and, continue on with their day.
Very good. Caitlin, let's jump back to food insecurity. What did I miss in that conversation you want to put out there for us before we move along?
Yeah, so last thing, just as a reminder again, whether you are donating food or money or volunteering, you are doing an awesome good service in your community. Especially if you are going to donate food, we encourage non-perishable foods, so boxed foods, canned foods. And then of course, if you want to add in a little bit of nutrition to that, that's always a great thing. So adding in maybe low sodium canned foods if it's available, or boxed things that have maybe some whole grains or added fiber to them are going to be a great addition to help our folks that don't have that consistent access to food get some extra nutrition in. But money is typically where pantries and food banks like to spend their time, because they get a really good quantity bulk purchasing prices. So sometimes your money also goes a little bit further than just purchasing food. So, but any way that you want to, donate food, money, or volunteering time is going to be excellent for the community.
Sounds good. Well, Caitlin, let's take a break here. Come back with some more. Caitlin Mellendorf, nutrition educator with the U of I Extension, our guest on the phone this morning. More to come with her on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
New Buick inventory is arriving daily. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. We want to listen and understand your transportation needs. Our Buick lineup has many new models to choose from, like the right-size Buick GX to the mid-size Buick Envision, and our premium crossover, the Buick Enclave. We can help you find the right one for you. See our in production and in transit tab for all inventory inbound. BaumChevyBuick.com. Right from the start.
Hi, I'm Dave Jackson, owner of your Clinton Save-A-Lot store in downtown Clinton, here to talk to you about our great produce department. We take great pride in being recognized by more and more customers as the place to go for the absolute freshest produce in Central Illinois. Our 7 produce professionals are very picky and won't put it out for sale if they wouldn't buy it themselves. Huge savings and the freshest produce are waiting for you at your Clinton Save-A-Lot. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you for listening to this Miller Media Group radio station. We appreciate you making the choice to tune in to us. We want to remind you of some things to keep the attorneys happy. Our stations allow 1 winner per household in a 30-day period. Cash prizes are mailed to our winners within 30 days of winning. And as you've probably already guessed, portions of today's programming on this Miller Media Group radio station were pre-recorded and are mechanically or digitally reproduced. There. Now we've made the attorneys happy. Thanks again for listening to this Miller Media Group station.
CEO Paul Scarin here from Warner Hospital and Health Services in Clinton. Our trained physical therapists offer quality, compassionate care close to home. Find out more by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
For the latest in Central Illinois agricultural news, visit IllinoisFarmRadio.com. Get updated information on markets, weather, ag news, local interviews with NAFB farm broadcaster Jared White, and much, much more. All at IllinoisFarmRadio.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence, and the WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the phone, Caitlin Mellendorf, nutrition educator with the U of I Extension. And Caitlin, let's talk a little bit about, as guys are getting in the fields for the harvest, obviously, you want them to be eating well. If we don't eat well, there's a lot of ramifications that can come with it. Obviously headaches, a lot of maybe some dizziness or things of that nature, some other health aspects to that. Let's just talk nutrition as guys, like I said, get back in the fields here for the harvest this fall.
Yeah, so we talked about, I mean, I've even seen some fields being emptied already. So I think the corn and beans are starting to dry out just enough that some farmers are already out in the field. So for, for harvest season, we're getting back out all of our equipment and we're getting back into the fields. And what that means is very long days and sometimes very long nights, getting all the fields harvested. And so whether farmers are relying on family and friends to bring them food out in the fields, or they themselves are maybe packing up some stuff to keep in their tractors and combines while they are harvesting, we of course want to focus on nutrition because, what would a conversation with me be without talking about nutrition? So to encourage, one primarily just is nutrition. So adding in foods that are going to nourish you. So that includes things like protein foods, heart healthy fats, high fiber carbohydrates as best as you can get. That's going to really maximize the nutrients to help those farmers feel full and alert and nourished throughout that day. So that could look like having some different pasta dishes, it's kind of a little bit of carb heavy, but enough to, keep you full for a while. That can look like adding in fruits and vegetables to your meals more so. That can look like doing leaner cuts of protein. So rather than a steak that's got like lots of heavy marbling, maybe you do something a little bit leaner, like lean ground beef, and maybe do a stir fry or a stroganoff or some type of maybe even like a burger, so you can have a handheld item. And then any way that you want to maximize on nutrition related to snacks. So having pretzels and peanut butter, or having an apple to snack on, having I feel like there's variety of things, and it's hard to pick because everybody's taste preferences are a little bit different. But build in that nutrition. Also build in hydration. So you're out there for many, many long hours, and so do make sure that you are hydrating. Water, of course, is our preferred method of hydration. But if you're someone who doesn't enjoy the taste of just plain water, you can always look at adding in cups of fruit the water to kind of give a little bit of sweetness to them, or even a little bit of citrus if you like that slightly sour flavor. Or if you are not bothered by the caffeine in caffeinated tea or coffee, those are great options to add as well.
For sure, for sure. Now, when it comes to Caitlin, guys that are out in the fields and those sorts of things, obviously food preservation. If you're going to be, keeping things that need to be cool or keeping things that need to be warm, what do you have for ideas there or tips there to just kind of keep those foods cool or warm, whatever the case may be?
Oh, you know me so well. We always have to have a food safety conversation. So if you definitely looking for shelf stable food items. So apples, bananas, oranges are all shelf stable, on their own, or even like a fruit cup is going to be a great thing. Anything dried, so dried fruit, dried jerky. I'm seeing quite a few different types of dried vegetable chips. So making like a quote unquote jerky out of mushrooms, drying that down into like a mushroom chip or a mushroom, quote unquote jerky. I've been buying like beet chips or even like sweet potato chips that are dehydrated, so you get a nice salty crunch out of them, but you're getting the added nutrition of a vegetable. There's all sorts of shelf stable, nuts and seeds. I've been seeing also like cheese crisps. So it's basically shredded cheese that's dehydrated. So again, it has kind of a cracker crunch, but it's cheese, so it's a high protein item. Crackers, breads, pretzels, dry cereal, trail mixes, all of those things are going to be great food safe, shelf stable items. If you're looking to do things that need refrigeration or being kept hot or cold, look at a couple options. So if your friends and family are bringing meals to you, they can do refrigeration packing. So they can use ice packs if they're bringing you foods that need to stay cold. They can also have towels or insulated coolers to wrap up hot food to keep it as warm as possible. If that drive between wherever that food was made out to the field is about 30 minutes, you may not really need to wrap anything up, but if it's going to be longer than that 30 minutes, I would definitely recommend wrapping up cold foods with ice packs or hot foods with, towels and insulated coolers to keep those warm. And I know, at least I don't know enough about tools for farm equipment. But I know for like semis and truckers, there's different appliances they can plug into their consoles so they can keep foods warm and cold. So you may want to look into some of those fun pieces of equipment for farm work too.
For sure. Very good. So, Caitlin, anything else on farmers in the fields and nutrition and those sorts of things? I think hydration is probably another conversation we should highlight in this, or another piece of the conversation we should highlight. How about that?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So making sure that you're staying hydrated. I know that today's more modern equipment, you do have air conditioning, so you are going to hopefully stay pretty cool, but you're going to be out there for long hours. So do make sure that you are staying hydrated, drinking enough water, drinking, if you don't like the taste of plain water, you can certainly do flavored waters. You can buy sugar-free flavoring packs, or if you like the taste of fruit or citrus in your water, or even plain tea or coffee are great ways to stay hydrated. We're coming into fall, so we're kind of getting out of like the watermelon, cantaloupe season, but there's a variety of, fall fruits that are going to have water as well. So apples, pears are going to be great options to help kind of add some hydration. Also, something that I just thought of too is hand washing. So if you have the ability to keep, a little bucket of water with some soap and maybe rinse your hands off before you eat, that's a great option as well. Just to look at, if you've got dirt under your nails and you want to get that off, have that soapy water, or at the very least, maybe a moist like towelette or alcohol-based hand sanitizer can be an option too.
Sure. Very good. Well, Caitlin, I'll tell you what, as we look at the clock, I need to wrap us up. Where do folks go to find great tips about, maybe harvest nutrition? We're getting into the time of the year where we're starting to see the produce from our gardens maybe fall off with the cooler temperatures and those sorts of things. Where do folks go to find some tips on all of that? How about those things?
Yeah, so Extension maintains a number of different blogs. So it's topics from food to agriculture, and those can all be found at extension.illinois.edu/blog. And then you can also find us on social media and on YouTube with a variety of topics on recorded webinars and podcast recordings. So if you are looking for something to listen to while you're in your farm equipment and in the field, check us out. We've got a variety of blogs you can turn on audio to listen to, or podcasts, or even things to read if you're just kind of hanging out while you're waiting to drop off your harvest.
Very good. Caitlin, always good to talk with you. Caitlin Mellendorf, nutrition educator, U of I Extension, our guest. Network News is next.
SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. One key element of Biden immigration policy has been ruled illegal by a Texas federal judge striking down the